the ultimate guide to systematizing your small business. If you feel like you are everything to the business, you are the bottleneck, you're in the weeds, you're in the day-to-day, every fire is put out by you. Anytime there's a complaint or there's chaos, they need you. Well, this is the masterclass on how to stop babysitting your team and build systems that actually scale. We have grown so quickly. In fact, we've hit the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in America the last 2 years. We just applied for our third year. Fingers crossed, we find out in a few weeks. But let me tell you, scaling without systems would not be fun. It would be a nightmare. In fact, many of you probably know and can experience that right now. We've got to get you out of that. So let's talk about who this masterclass is for. We've created this training for 7-figure businesses who are generating consistent revenue, or maybe you're getting really close to that. That's like your annual goal this year. This training is going to be great for you. You already have a proven product or service. So you're not brand spanking new. You've got something ready to scale. But maybe you're still a little too involved in the day-to-day operations, which is most small business owners. You have at least one other person on your team. So systems are great as a solopreneur, but they're even better when you have people on your team to spread that too. So whether you have 2 people, 20 people, 200 people, this training will be for you. If you are craving more time freedom and a scalable infrastructure, we've got you covered. And if you're finally ready to operate like a real CEO and not just a superstar employee, this is going to be a really big game changer. And most business owners, they are superstar employees, and we want to get out of that. We want to change that. The reality is that systems will scale. Sometimes we think we need more money. If I just could make X much more, if we could just bring in, whatever it is, how many more clients, then all of our problems will be solved. But that's not what happens. The more clients you bring on, the more team you bring on, without systems, it will feel like chaos. And a lot of times, somebody will come to me as a business consultant and they'll say, Stacy, can you help me fix my sales problem? Can you help me fix my marketing problem? And sometimes, guys, it's not a sales problem. It's a lack of a sales system. Today, I'm going to talk about all the different departments and what systems you need in place to really run it and get it like a well-oiled operation. So a business without systems is relying on you, your energy, your hustle, your memory, right? And then you don't remember how you've done things. So you're a little inconsistent, and inconsistent businesses can have really bad customer experiences. Chaos cannot scale. Systems become your infrastructure for growth, all right? And systems equals like consistency, right? Once you have consistency, you're going to start to be able to predict your profit. Once you have predictable profits, it's like, okay, let's scale. We know what we're getting into. So here's what you're going to walk away with today. Number 1, a systems audit checklist for your business. And it is gold. A guidance on the templates you need to systemize each department. So I'm talking marketing, sales, customer success, operations. What do you need? What are you missing? That's coming up. A 4-part team ownership framework, tactical first steps you can implement today. We're going all in. This is a full-on masterclass. The biggest thing you need to really switch is the CEO's job isn't to do work. It's not. It's designing the machine, getting the right people in the right seats with the right expectations, with the right systems and playbooks, okay? That's your job. Your job is to set it up, right? And then let everybody else run in that machine, okay? So every minute should be spent on building a system. Trust me, you will save hours and hours and hours later. Now, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's not that you're doing too much. It's that you're owning too much. Let me ask you, how many full-time hats are you wearing in your business? In fact, put it in the comments. I want to know, how many full-time hats are you wearing? And I've worked with thousands of small business owners, and I can tell you, a lot of times they'll say all of them, most of them, too many to count. Even if you have a team of people, you still might be owning marketing. Meaning, if marketing's failing, you're the one waking up at 2 a.m, freaking out, thinking about it, checking your bank account, strategizing. Even though there's a marketing manager, you're owning it, right? So we've got to switch that mindset. Now, I will tell you that having a lack of systems is impacting your salary. If you want to get paid like a CEO, you've got to act like one. Now, there are a lot of hidden costs when it comes to chaos. You are most likely experiencing decision fatigue, energy drain, poor leadership decisions. When you are in chaos, how do you show up? How do you respond? How do you react? How do you lead? probably not that great when things are feeling stressful or heavy. The weight is on your shoulders. There's an opportunity cost of fixing fires versus strategic planning. So when somebody says, hey, we have a client and she's upset and here's what she said, what do we do? And you fix that fire, you put it out and you say, hey, okay, you're going to tell her this and then you're going to give her this and then it's going to be fine. But you keep doing that over and over and over. You don't put it down. You don't write it down. You don't tell them, okay, this is the system. Let's go find it in the playbook. You just hurry and put it out. Or even worse, you might say to him, hey, I've got this. Let me call her back myself. That's fixing fire. So we want to start being strategic as we are planning. Inconsistent delivery, and that comes from you not having systems. You're just like, oh, tell her this. Give her a refund. 2 weeks later, it happens to a friend. You don't give a refund. You're in a cranky mood, and you say, no, tell her this. And then they talk, and then they're like, wait, you got a refund? I didn't get a refund, right? So inconsistent delivery can really have some big problems. You're going to start to see refund requests coming through, reputation damage. It can get really ugly without having consistency. And then poor team performance, right? Oh my goodness. The amount of people, like you might have a good employee or a good contractor. They're good, but they could be great if you gave them a system. Now think about it. If they're only good or they're mediocre, right? You're overpaying for underperformers because you haven't given them the systems they need. So let's talk about 6 signs that you're people-reliant and not system-reliant. I'm sure I don't have to brainwash you into believing you want to build a team. You've probably been a solopreneur who is on the verge of burnout, exhausted, overwhelmed, and you've probably figured that out the hard way, that the only way out of this is to grow your team. Now, the problem is, the thing not just solved your problem, right? The people are solving your problem, but they're creating new problems. The new problem is, okay, great, I have all these people, but now they all need me. There's more headaches. There's more questions. There's more interruptions. There's more. So what we want to do, and here at Well Oil, we teach people how to go from being people-reliant to process-reliant to system-reliant. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. So if you're people-reliant, here are some things that might be popping up. You have no written systems, SOPs, standard operating procedures for recurring tasks. So somebody's angry and is upset and they want a refund. Where is it documented? How could I go in, look at that playbook, read exactly what I'm supposed to do? You probably don't have that, right? Maybe the client experience varies depending on who's delivering. So you might have a rock star receptionist who is just crushing it, but then you get Sally on Tuesday evenings who's not crushing it, and it's a very different experience. I've heard people say things like, okay, we got a really important client. We need somebody good taking that person on. And it's like, everybody should be good. Everybody should have the same systems, right? Onboarding new hires might feel like it's reinventing the wheel. You're like, what am I asking in this interview? Okay, what are we doing now? What's the email that goes out to say yes or no to the job offer? What do they need to sign? You're kind of like recreating everything every time. Maybe there's no visibility into your metrics. You go off of gut feelings, right? Every small mistake escalates to you. You are the problem solver, but that means you are also the bottleneck. You dream of taking a vacation, but you know you can't, or you go and you're miserable because you're thinking about the business the whole time. You're checking in, you're bringing the computer with you, you're catching up on work. We want to really start to fix that, okay? When we switch into being system reliant, process reliant, here's what this looks like. Number 1, staff solves the problems without escalating to you. Your team should have autonomy to take care of it. I know that sounds scary, but I've got you. We're going to talk about that today. The team follows clear, documented processes. Hires become productive 3 times faster. You guys, we bring on team members, and every department, our coaching department, we used to have to take 6 weeks to train somebody. All of a sudden it was 5 weeks and then 3 weeks, right? So we're getting faster and faster and faster. And that is because we have systems in place. The client experience is consistent. So no matter who delivers it, there's no good employees and bad employees. There are just employees producing the systems you've laid out. And then the profit starts to grow faster because the leaders are freed up. You and other, hopefully, maybe leaders on your team are freed up because of systems. Now, don't worry. If you are getting overwhelmed by all of the systems you need to have, I have put together a business systems audit checklist, okay? You can go to Instagram and DM me the word audit, and I'm going to send it over to you completely free because I want to make sure that you really start to put these in place. So again, go to my Instagram at Stacey Tuschl and then DM me the word audit, and it's going to automatically send you over this insane business systems audit checklist. I've got you covered. Now let's talk about what systems? Where do I start? One of my biggest questions or concerns is systems feels so overwhelming. Like I don't have really any systems. Everything's in my head or they're in my key player's head. So how on earth am I supposed to just start systematizing a 12-year-old business today? So we're going to do it one system at a time. We're going to just take your biggest frustration, right? And we're going to systematize that frustration. And once that is systematized, you're going to just feel like relief. Okay, my biggest irritation, I get interrupted every single day. That is now documented and given to the team. That's going to be a huge weight off your shoulders, okay? Let's jump into what systems you need. And of course, I'm going to be talking about profitable systems because I'm not going to sit here and do boring, tedious, time-wasting systems. We have to change the way your business is, right? So we're going to be diving into marketing. We're talking sales today, customer success, and operations. And it's funny because inside of our well-oiled program, we actually teach all four. And people say, Stacey, that's so strange. Like you're well-oiled operations. I would have just assumed you only teach operations. I'm like, but listen, all of those departments have systems behind them. And I am a systems girl. Like I have such incredible marketing systems, right? Even just getting this YouTube video up. This video is up because of a system. I did one piece of creating this video, but then it was passed to many other people and it's all documented in a system. So to be well-oiled, you have to be well-oiled in marketing, in sales, in customer success, and in operations. If you are just good at one of them, you're going to feel it. So to be well-oiled, you have to be well-rounded. So let's talk about customer success systems. Now, number one, it feels funny for a lot of business owners to start here. They're like, wait, don't we start at the top of the funnel? Don't we start at marketing? Why are we starting with the back end and our customers? Okay. And the reason I always start at the back end is because I'm trying to help you scale. And if I help blow up your marketing and your sales and your back end can't catch it, we're going to have a big problem. One of the questions I love to ask is if I could wave a magic wand and give you 100 new clients today, how excited would you be? And most business owners go, I would be thrilled. And then they think about it for a minute and they go, oh yeah, I couldn't handle 100 clients. Like we don't have the capacity. We don't have the system set up. Somebody would have to come in. I'd have to come in and work a little overtime, right? You maybe couldn't catch the fulfillment. So what I want to do is I want to set up the back end, the customer success path, right? Where I can go, all right, this is so systematized that when I turn on my marketing and sales machine, I'll be able to catch the clients. A good story. One of my clients has this incredible opportunity for a Super Bowl commercial. Okay. That's pretty impressive. They ended up getting something like 7 calls every 9 seconds. They have one phone line. All she did was she flooded her phones and she missed 99% of the calls. So we can't go into something like that without having the back end set up, ready to catch all these amazing leads coming your way. All right. So what we need to do is we need to look at the back end, which is customer success. There's so many different types of businesses, right? You might be in the service industry. You might be in retail. You might have a restaurant. So please take this with a grain of salt because not everybody is going to have an onboarding email sequence, okay? But I will tell you that even if you're somebody who you're thinking, yeah, I wouldn't ever give them, I don't have emails, okay? I don't really go anywhere too often these days without having to be requested my email. If I go shopping at a retail store, what are they asking? What's your email address? They're setting up emails. They're giving you an onboarding sequence. They are doing this. So just because you don't have one or you don't think you would need one or your industry doesn't typically do it doesn't mean you shouldn't. I mean, think about it. Starbucks, they've got an email list. Certain restaurants, I'm getting emails, right? So I really don't know that there's too many of you that absolutely couldn't have some sort of email list, right? I think it's crucial for all of us, okay? With that said, when somebody purchases, right, what happens now? Are they buying skincare and you need to teach them how to use it? How many times have I bought something, but I don't know how to use it, so it sits here? I had so much video equipment or like certain mounts or handheld things where I buy it and then I get it and then I'm like, oh, okay, here's a pile of unused equipment, right? But if they would have had an onboarding sequence and showed me how to use it, I may have fallen in love with the product and then a year later or 2 years later kept buying from them or upgrading my equipment. So this is a major, major area. So where do you need to have a welcome sequence, next steps, maybe a kickoff checklist, you name it. This shouldn't be something you do once in a while, or this person on your team does it this way and that person over here does it that way. Everybody needs to do it the same way. Okay. So it's not like, oh, how do you do that? It's here is how we at Well Oiled do this. Okay. So that was a really big challenge. We have probably 50 full-time team members right now. And I will tell you, back when we had about 20, you had people doing things their way. Like, well, oh, when I do this, I usually do it this way. And somebody's like, oh, that's cool. When I do it, I'm like, whoa. If we want to scale this business and scale fast, we can't be doing it 4 different ways in marketing, right? Marketing has to do it one way. Sales has to do it one way. Customer success, one way. So you really have to get it in your head. If I really want to build something substantial that doesn't need me, we need to systematize. Next, what are service SOPs, standard operating procedures? So are there step-by-step delivery checklists for every service or every product, okay? Even in this customer success path, the question becomes, what are the next steps? When should they buy from you again? Have that systematized. What are the next milestones? When should you be reaching back out? This is all part of it. Do a weekly client pulse check. This could be a short survey or a check-in email. How are you liking the product? How did you enjoy your meal? How was our landscaping experts? Like whatever it is, you've got to start to ask and get that information. This is a big one. I highly recommend a red flag escalation SOP. So this is how to spot, document, and resolve client dissatisfaction. I want to talk about this for just a second. So what we don't want to do is go, oh, they've complained. Now what? We want to ask ourselves, when people are complaining, what happened a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, etc., right? How can we start to spot these things and fix it before it happens? So we don't just want, you definitely want to make sure you have a system for they're complaining, what do I do? Yes. But you don't want to keep getting complaints. You want to say, you're always going to get complaints, but you want to reduce them. You want to say, what was one of those big things that happened so for instance, it could be when we have a mistake in the first 7 days of doing whatever. Typically, this is already somebody who's on edge because their first impression of us is not great, right? So maybe we do something when we mess up. We go above and beyond to turn them around, or we know this is going to lead to somebody wanting a refund, cancellation, etc., just a few weeks, months down the road, okay? So this is going to be a big one. And I'm telling you, if you're already getting overwhelmed, like, oh my goodness, how do I even start this? You do it one thing at a time. So today, there's going to be fires. There's going to be chaos. Welcome to the small business world every day, right? So what happened today? What happened that you didn't have a system for? That instead of just hurrying and passing it to your team, you sit and stop and say, I am doing this system one time and never again. So I'm going to take a few extra minutes and I'm going to write down exactly what I'm thinking, I want to do, how I feel about this, etc. I'm going to give it back to this person. Maybe it's your first draft because you're going to test to make sure, how did it go? How did they react, etc. Okay. And then from there, you're going to start to build these systems up. So when somebody complains about something, 2 weeks later, when they complain about that same thing, that employee should not have to come to you. They got written documentation of what to do. Is this making sense? Are you seeing how this is going to start to change the way your daily interruptions? Like you're going to get your life back. All right, moving on to marketing. So once I clean up my customer success and I feel like it's in a really great spot and it's scalable, meaning I could rush clients, I could bring more people in, right? Now I'm going to focus on marketing, okay? So I kind of started at the bottom and now I'm going back up to the top. Here are a few systems that you should be doing in marketing, okay? Number one, your content planning system. So having a 12-month calendar broken down, really honestly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, etc. So I don't know what business shouldn't be on social media these days. So when I say content planning, I'm talking social media strategy. And the goal is not, oh shoot, it's Wednesday, what should I post today, right? No. The goal is, first of all, you have an amazing employee or contractor doing it, and there's a system they're following. And that system is truly creating, like putting out what they've got going on in the next, let's say 90 days. And when I'm putting out content in 90 days, my social media manager is just watching analytics and, oh, wow, that worked. Okay, here are the winners. We're going to repurpose those. Here are the losers. Can we try again, or do we just scrap them? So we're not making a piece of content every day for 12 months. No. We have a whole asset folder filled of content. Like I have content for the month of December. And the reason I like to do this 12 months is because I like to be relevant. So I love having certain things where we are showing off the Christmas tree or maybe an Easter basket or something like that, right? But you're like, oh, that's just such a one-off thing. It doesn't have to be a one-off thing. You can go back to the December folder and grab out all the Christmas assets for next year. So really start to ask yourself, am I creating assets? Am I creating a plan so that next year it's so much easier? And it's not just easier next year, it's already easier next quarter because we take our winners and we repurpose them, okay? Number 2, launch playbooks. So templates for new offers, new promos, new events. Everything you do is a system. Everything you do. So when somebody says to me, I'm not ready for systems yet. Like, you need systems on day 1 of your business. Literally day 1, you are starting systems. There is no business that is not ready to start. Systems are literally the base of your house, your infrastructure. So I'm not ready for my base? No. Every house starts with the foundation. Okay. Analytics dashboard. So you need to be tracking everything I do in marketing. I do it. I throw spaghetti at the wall. I see what sticks. And then I go back and I go, whoa, this one was good. Why? Interesting. Okay. Somebody just gave me my top 2 performing Facebook ads. And I go, oh, interesting. I said this phrase that I don't normally say, and I said it in both of them. Curious, I don't know, I'm guessing, but I'm like, ooh, I wonder if that phrase is a good phrase. So now I'm going to create a couple more, and I'm going to put them in some and not in others, and I'm going to do a split test, and I'm going to see. So the analytics dashboard is feeding me, Stacy, this is working. Stacy, this is not. This bombed. Either fix it or get rid of it, okay? So we have grown pretty quickly on definitely on Instagram. Instagram is our number 1 platform. My handle is just at Stacy Tuschel. But we have grown really, really fast. And it's because we have tracked our analytics like crazy. I mean, we don't put something out without looking to see what it did. Repurposing workflow. So not only am I saying, when I say, I'm going to repurpose that or I'm going to reuse, I should have said, I'm going to reuse that. I actually reuse the same reel 90 days later. Okay. But repurposing is also well, what can I do? Maybe I made this Tuesday reel and I put it out there and I got a lot of hearts, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of whatever, right? Okay, well, can I take what I said on camera and can I make that into a long form blog? Can I make it into a carousel? Can I put it in an email? Can I put it in a reel? Can I make it into a Facebook ad? You are working too hard. You might be one off creating all of those things, right? Now it's amazing with AI. I get to take a winning anything, put it into Chat GPT, right? And say, hey, can you turn this into a blog? Can you turn this exact the same thing into a carousel? Life changing. So in marketing, there's a couple things that I want to go over. I mean, I could have just stopped there and said that was marketing, but I want to give you just a little bit more because there's a couple big things I need you to know about. So in marketing, you really need a lead generation system. Our businesses grow extremely fast. Why? Because number 1, even though I teach operations, my personal strength, you guys, is marketing. I love marketing. I, out of necessity, needed operations. And that's why I started to get obsessed over it because it was working. It's kind of when you try, let's say you're on a diet and you're starting to lose weight, but you hate the diet, but you're losing weight and you're really liking the effect of it. So you keep doing it. That is what operations was to me. I'm I don't really I'm an innovator. I am an ideas person. I am constantly thinking of something new. I don't really love operations. However, it's but it's working. And it allows me to stay in my zone of genius. It allows me to do marketing, to go into sales. It allows me to be the face of the business. Without operations, I couldn't do any of that. I really want you to know that we've grown so quickly because we've always been focused on leads. You need leads. I get leads, meaning I get new email addresses, new text message or phone numbers, okay, and new Instagram followers every single day. There is not a day where I have not collected someone's email, someone's phone number, someone's followed me. I need leads. I need leads. They're at the top of the funnel. Without leads, it's over, right? You're going to be just a sinking ship. What are you creating? And you don't need a ton of these, guys. You just need one phenomenal free offer for cold traffic, people that don't know you, that are coming to you the first time, and they're like, oh, that's cool. You just need one. Because every day somebody new should be coming. And when they're there, they need something really cool to opt into, okay? So whether that's a free trial, a quiz, a download, a free appetizer with your meal, whatever. You've got to have something for free for cold, okay? We've been at millions of dollars in revenue with one solid free offer. Millions per year, one solid free offer. You don't need a ton, I promise you. The next is you really need this weekly content engine. So we basically say like one hero piece, and then we turn it into micro pieces of content. When you think, oh, I need to post today, or I think we're doing 3 or 4 posts a day right now. That can sound really overwhelming, but you start small and you work your way up. If you just have one thought, right? You really, as a business owner, you need to be a thought leader. Like even if you're a landscaper, you need to be a thought leader in taking care of your home, right? Like you need to lean in. If you are a dog groomer, like I want to know that you are an expert in dogs, okay? So what is your thought that you can share? Something big, something you believe in, your values, your company values, your stories, okay? What is this one bigger hero piece of content that I can now take and put into micro pieces of content? This would be a really great example. This training, I have no idea how long it's going to go, but let's say it's an hour long. That is a hero piece of content, but my team could come back in and they could just grab the part on marketing systems and that's it. And it could be a standalone piece of content. Does that make sense? Okay. The next is you need to be tracking your leads. So where are you putting these? Now, I don't recommend a spreadsheet, but anytime people get nervous to spend money or another software, you could always do things in a spreadsheet. However, it's not the most time efficient, right? Like you're going to be spending a lot of time. So I highly recommend you get a lead tracker. I will put my favorite resources in the description so you can just click that and see what we're using, what we love. And honestly, it's just mine are all pretty relatively inexpensive for you to get started. Okay. So a lead tracker is going to be telling us where these people came from. They're going to show us what pipeline they're in. So, okay. I own dance and music schools for children. So I do like, let's say a free dance trial. So I might go into my tracker, and FYI, if you use, I think our affiliate link and purchase that one, I have a whole video training on showing you my pipeline, which might be really interesting for you. So FYI. Anyway, so it's got like, okay, they did the free trial. They signed up for it. Okay. Well, the next question is, maybe did they confirm the free trial? Did they show up for the free trial? Did they buy? And I'm literally moving these leads over, and that is really helping me figure out now what. And then what's nice when you use a software, and I think my software is like $97 a month or 107, something super cheap. But like now I can go, okay, when they go from scheduling it to showing up, immediately auto send these texts, these voicemail drops, these emails. Do you see why I would never, ever, ever, ever say use a spreadsheet? Because it's not a system and it's so manual and you need automated. The next piece, nurture sequence templates. Back in the day, these were not easy. You had to sit here and figure this out or hire a copywriter. Now you have ChatGPT. It's like we're cheating. We're literally cheating but ethically, and we get to. So now you get to say, and what's so fun about AI is you can say, all right, they just opted in for my free trial. I want to send them 3 emails over the next X amount of days. And I really want it to be why they should show up or how to prepare, whatever you're feeding it. And then all of a sudden, it's just going to give it to you. It's just going to give it to you. So incredible. We get to do this. Okay. We went to marketing at the top of the funnel. Marketing is here. The next part of the funnel is sales. Okay. Marketing is different than sales. Marketing is like putting things out there for people to say, who's this? Interesting. I've never heard of them. Sales is, oh, hi, you're here. Welcome. Now let's get you to buy. It's different. So many business owners just have a marketing system. There's no sales. You need sales, okay? When somebody reaches out through DMs, emails, phone, maybe your website, box, whatever you got, like a fill-in form, how do you reply? And this is where, if I went into your business, a lot of you, it's like, well, it depends who answers. Is there a specific, how fast are you? Do you answer a DM guaranteed within an hour? Are you checking your email hourly where they're going to get a message back? Like, do you even have a how fast we should? Do you have how fast you should answer a phone? Should you answer the phone? And I say, should you answer the phone? Meaning I have a rule of, if somebody's standing in front of you, I want you to say, hold 1 second. I'm just going to quickly take this and I'll get their number and call them right back. I don't want to ignore the phone. Somebody's standing in front of me. She's not going anywhere. So I'm going to say, oh my goodness, can I quickly answer this? Okay, thank you. And then I'm going to quick say, you know what? I have a customer right in front of me. Would you mind if I called you back in just 5 minutes? Sure, no problem. Now I've got this lead and I got the phone lead, right? What is your system for responding, how fast, etc.? And is it the same? So many people have no system. They're like, hi, just calling to see what your schedule is. And they're like, oh, here's the link. Click. Done. That lead is gone. It's invisible. We don't have it written down. We're not going to follow up. We don't have them in a system. These leads are gold. All right. This is going to grow your business so fast. Another thing is, what are the biggest objections for people to buy or not buy your product, program, or service? So what is a reason somebody might not purchase? And then you need to train everybody on your team, whatever those objections are, and how we bust that objection. So one of the objections I get in Well-Oiled is like, oh, I really just don't have the time to do this program. But when I get a little less busy in my off season, I'm totally coming back. Okay, well, my objection is, then if you bought today, I would literally have you go through our time saver playbook that is guaranteed to cut out 10 hours per week back this week. So if you don't have time, let me get you 10 hours back this week. Is that cool? Also, they're like, wait, tell me more. Okay. What are your objections and how will you handle that? The next one, the pre-qualification form. So weed out tire kickers. Like, this isn't for everybody, right? We may not have, or I shouldn't even say that, because even if you're running a Facebook ad, let's say you're in retail or whatever it is, you can say certain things in your ad to get somebody to step back, right? Like, how many times did I say in the beginning of this training, this isn't for newbies. This isn't for newbies. If you don't have a team, this is going to be very, very hard for you to build this. If you don't have a product, you can't really build systems yet. You need a product first, right? So I am purposely saying things because it's like, I don't want somebody to watch an hour-long training and be like, I really wish she would have said this is for more experienced business owners, because this is not anything I needed, right? So I am saying things to repel you, to attract you, etc. What are you doing in your Facebook ads, your Instagram organic, your emails, etc. Okay. How can you weed out or tell people who is right, who is not, etc. Offer stack templates. Okay. So what do I mean by this? Well, what is consistent pricing? What could they add on? What could they downsell? So for instance, if I am going to a Mexican restaurant, okay, and you do not say like, did you want to add on guacamole? Did you want to add on chips and salsa? I mean, it's like, come on, like super easy to upsell, to keep adding on, right? Now, if I am looking at a specific product and I'm going, oh, it's just financial, they just can't jump into that. Okay, great. What is a lower barrier of entry that I could downsell those? Okay. Now your system might be, we don't have a downsell. We've got one offer. It's a take it or leave it, and that's it. But it should be a system. The amount of people that ask us if we like to try, they kind of like negotiate and do discounts, and it's really odd. Like, people will say, what's CC's best offer? And they're like, no, this is the investment. Or they're like, I know, but go to Stacey and just see what she says. My team literally will be like, there's no reason for me to go to Stacey. We do not discount the program. Like, this is the investment and it's a steal of a deal. Okay. There's a system behind what they would say to that specific response. Okay. But does your team have a specific response? Do you know? Next, are you tracking metrics? You're going to see a theme here. For me, I am tracking. One of the biggest ways we get new clients is somebody will book a free strategy call. So I'm tracking, okay, how many calls were booked? How many calls completed? Not everybody that books a call shows up. Okay. Not everybody is an action taker. Some people are like, oh, they get excited and then they don't do anything. Okay. Same thing at my studio. They book a free trial for a free dance class. Not 100% of people show up. You're like, what do you mean? They wanted it. Yeah. But some people are busy, or they're lazy, or they're not interested anymore, or I don't know. You never know. They found somebody else, right? You never know. We're tracking that. Then what is our close rate? What is our revenue per call? Like these are all things I'm looking at. Now, those that might be very different for you, but I just want you to start thinking, what could mine be? Okay. Marketing, sales. We already did customer success. And then operations. Okay. So let's talk, what is operations? So number one, let me kind of back for just a minute. Customer success, like customer focused, right? I really want to make sure I am customer focused always. That's why I start there. Okay. Marketing and sales is still all customer based. Operations, I'm really getting into the team. Now, I love my team. I don't want you thinking, oh, they get fourth place. No. When I set up systems in any of those departments, my team feels it. So we've already made my team's life easier by having systems in marketing, sales, and customer success. But now we're going to really get to like behind the scenes. Okay. Now this is what we are definitely known for and what most people don't have. Like it's just missing in their business. Okay. Weekly tactical meetings. If you're one of those people that is anti-meetings and you don't have any, I am telling you, if I walked into your business and I led meetings this week, your team would go from here to here. Guaranteed. People fight me on this. Like, listen, meetings are useless. We found a way to not have to do meetings. I am telling you, I have never put a meeting into a company and have not seen the difference in the team, the morale, the culture, the results. It's incredible. Okay. You need an agenda. Okay. You need an agenda. We don't go into a meeting like, oh, how's everybody doing? What's happening? Always have an agenda. A big one that we do is, okay, wins. We always start positive. Every meeting we have, it's like, okay, fill me in. What are some good things going on in the company? Okay. Now we're going to clear up what are priorities this week. What are some big roadblocks? Who needs help? Who needs support? How can I support you? Then we do a recurring task library. So we have all, like, just think of this. We have job descriptions for everybody in our entire company. And if all of these systems are like, this is a lot. I can't believe I have to create all this. Please know in Well-Oiled, we give you all of these systems. We give you all of these templates. So you can just use them as is, or you can edit them. If you're like, wow, I would rather just take yours and use yours, you could definitely book a call. We'll put the link in the notes below. But just book a call. You'll learn if you qualify for our program, and then you can just use all of these templates. Okay. So we have a job description for every role. Then in the job description, it says all the things you do. And every one of those has a system of how to do it. So if somebody quits, right, or you have to fire somebody, you don't have to worry about, okay, well, what systems did they leave with? What was in their head? No. Let's go to the job description. What were the things that they were doing? Here are the links to how to do all of those things. And now I can just put that job description back out there and let somebody new come in, and hiring and onboarding them so much easier. Project management, standard operating procedures. So every project lives in one tool. Again, I'll put a link to who we use. We typically are tech right now. We're using Monday.com. There's a lot of good ones. Asana, ClickUp, you name it. But every project has an owner with a deadline. Onboarding and training. So here's the deal, guys. When you start to become well-oiled and you're well-rounded, you've got marketing, sales, customer success, operations, and it's going. You scale fast. This is how we have hit the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in America. We are scaling fast. Now, when you scale fast, you need the infrastructure and you need the team. So I need systems to hire and onboard. Q1, we hired 15 people in Q1 alone. This week, I think we brought on 3 new people. I mean, we're growing like crazy. And one of the biggest systems we need is how do we recruit, hire, train top tier talent. And our goal with them is to get every single person on our team to directly or indirectly generate revenue within 90 days so that they are making more than they cost me. And if they don't, we let them go. Okay. Sounds kind of harsh and cutthroat, but they know that coming in. It's not that crazy to say, listen, I'm going to pay you this much. I need to make sure I'm getting that much back in value. I mean, in what world are you like, listen, I'm going to give you $10 and you're going to give me 7 back? It's like, what? No. You need to get that much value. So we are very, very strict and very upfront about that. So let's talk about how to get your team to do more without you. What does that look like? So I want to talk really quickly about this 4-part team ownership framework. Number 1 is role clarity. 1 owner per team member. Okay. So here's what I mean by this. Something went wrong the other day. Nobody did anything for 15 minutes on this specific training. Okay. I needed somebody to do something. I said to the team, who is responsible for being there the last 15 minutes? And everybody kind of said, well, we all are, but we're all like multitasking. I said, no, who is responsible, right? And the answer was like, nobody. Because everybody was responsible. Nobody was responsible. So everybody thought, oh, somebody else would take care of that. I'm good. But then nobody was manning that station. So I said to my team, I need to know one person that is responsible for that job. Because guess what? When you are the only person responsible, you are not going to mess up. Not if you're an A player. Okay. So that was a big, big thing. If you're just like, make sure we all do this, it's not going to get done, right? You've got to say like, Bella, I need you doing this. Sarah, I need you doing that. And all of a sudden they own it very differently. Number 2, measurable outcomes. So we need clear metrics. We call these KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay. And we need them tied to outcomes. So I'm going to back up for just a second. Something we teach inside of our program, it's called the Same Pager. And I actually have a video on how to make a Same Pager. If you want to learn that, I'll link it as well. But when you have your Same Pager, we are looking at what is our critical number, okay? What is the one number we're all shooting for as a company, all right? And it's tied to our revenue. And then from there, every individual person on my team has their own metrics that help them get us closer to that big number. Is this like starting to click how we are scaling so fast, the team is growing, but the team is actually producing, right? And it's all tied to all of this stuff. So when you have clear KPIs that is actually tied to an outcome, everybody knows what they have to do to win here and stay here. We also need an autonomy framework, all right? So we want a decision-making tree. Now, this is really cool. This is where you say, all right, when this happens, here's what you do, and I want you to handle it, and I don't need to be involved. Or you're going to say, listen, when they threaten a lawyer, you're pinging me, right? Like the word lawyer means I'm getting pinged, right? So that might be something. You might say, okay, if this is happening, you can do it. Or even something like, this is not an emergency. This is an emergency. This is like, you're going to wait till tomorrow to interrupt your manager. This one is you're calling your manager right this second. So the more you can show them what's urgent, what's not. And here's the thing, just start paying attention to this week. And when somebody comes up to you and you answer the problem, write down in the playbook, not urgent, could get a response within 24 hours. This one, very upset, messed up, needs to be handled immediately. Feedback loops. So we want weekly coaching and not quarterly surprises. So how do I get my team to be so amazing? Like my team is amazing. If you have come to one of our in-person events and you're hanging out with my team, or maybe you jumped on a free call, or you talked to us in our DMs on Instagram and you're talking to somebody from my team, you might be really impressed, okay? And it's because my team is getting constant feedback to improve. I only take A players on my team, and A players are hungry. They're driven. They want more. They want to be better. They want coaching. So guess what? They're open, they're coachable, and they're taking the feedback and they're fixing it. So they're getting better and better and better and better. And that's what a feedback loop is. It's not just, oh, she came in late again, and you're just hiding it and you're not saying anything and you're just being resentful and she keeps coming in late. We are saying things immediately to say, hey, I noticed you were late. What's going on? And then they're like, oh, I can't be late. She's going to say something, right? Very, very different. So here are some tools you need. And here's the deal. I'm going to put a bunch of comments in the description. So we've got you. Okay. You're going to need updated job descriptions, right? You are going to need a KPI dashboard. You are going to want SOP playbooks, video and written, weekly meetings. You're going to want the whole company and then just maybe leadership or per department. And here's the deal, guys. All of this is what we do inside of Well Oiled Operations. If you're like, yes, I need this, I need help, book a free strategy call and see if you qualify. Now, we work with business owners that are producing multiple 6 figures per year in annual revenue. So fill out all that information. It'll let you know if you qualify for our program, okay? With that said, without systems, you will stay frustrated. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to keep losing good people because A players want calm. They want secure. They do not want chaos, right? You'll keep working harder just to stay stuck, actually having to do more and sometimes getting less of an outcome. You'll keep wondering why scaling feels impossible. Maybe you keep plateauing or you're going backwards. We see that sometimes, right? With systems, what happens is you can, oh my goodness, you can double your revenue. You can 2, 3, 4, 5 times your revenue. You can cut your hours down, right? You can see your team step into true ownership. I am so proud of the people on my team that are truly becoming managers, leaders, even the people that maybe come in at an entry-level position. They are owning their role. You get to become the visionary CEO. You get to do what you were designed to do, not this boring ops stuff that has to get done. You get to step into like the thing that lights you up, fuels you to move forward. You build a business that works harder than you do. My business is bigger than me. It is outperforming me. These are areas and things that I want you to really, really understand and grasp. If you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling burnt out, if you are feeling like, why isn't this getting any easier? Why are we making more money, but I'm feeling more stressed? Or the team is getting bigger, but the headaches are becoming increasingly more, right? And it's because you haven't fixed that foundation. We've got to get to the root. We've got to figure out what is your biggest frustration and put a system in there to solve it. Every frustration is just a lack of a system. So if you want well-oiled operations to help you actually get this stuff done and get it implemented into your business, you can see if you qualify. Go to bookwoocall.com. Take us up on a free 60-minute strategy session. You need to make sure you're at least $150,000 in annual revenue and up. Our program is designed for truly multiple 6 figures, 7, 8 figures in annual revenue, not profit. All right. So check it out. I think you're going to be really excited to see what we can actually do for you and how we can help you scale your business.